Hello everyone, my name is Karthik and today I'll introduce you to two new topics that have been doing rounds since the start of February 2025. So for the first time in 5 years, the Reserve Bank of India has reduced the repo rate and the Union Budget 2025-26 has introduced major tax reform including a full tax rebate for incomes up to 12.75 lakhs. Now what do these mean for Indian economy? Let's break it down step by step. First news, RBI rate cut and its macroeconomic impact on the economy. So the RBI recently cut the repo rate by 25 basis points to 6.25%. Now, what is the repo rate? It is the interest rate at which commercial banks borrow from the RBI. A lower repo rate means that banks can access funds from more cheaply and in turn offer lower interest on the loans to general consumers. How does this affect the economy? In macroeconomic terms, lower interest rate encourages both consumer spending and business investments. Households may take home loans at lower EMIs, businesses may borrow more for expansion, and industries like real estate, automobiles, and manufacturing can see a rise in the demand. Another major impact would be on education loans. With lower interest rates, students can more easily access cheaper loans for their higher studies in whether in top Indian institutes like IITs and IIMs, or they can go abroad and take international degrees easily. This makes quality education more accessible, leading to a more skilled workforce in the long run, which is a key driver of economic growth. However, there is a trade-off. Lower interest rate increase money supply in the economy, which, if not controlled, can lead to inflation. That's why the RBI closely monitors inflationary trends before making such decisions. This responsibility lies with the Monetary Policy Committee or the MPC, which is a six-member panel that meets every 2 months to assess inflation, economic growth, and global financial conditions before deciding on the interest rate changes. The MPC consists of three members from the RBI, including RBI's governor, and three external experts appointed by the central government. Their goal is to ensure price stability while supporting economic growth, balancing the impact of rate cuts and inflation together. Now, the second news about tax reform 6. The government has increased the tax rebate limit to rupees 12.75 lakhs per year, meaning many middle class taxpayers which will now pay zero income tax on their incomes. A direct tax cut like this means that the government collects less revenue from income tax, which is their major source of revenue. But here's where macroeconomic concepts come in. With more disposable income in people's hand, we see an increase in consumer spending, a concept explained using marginal propensity to consume or the MPC in macroeconomics, which necessarily means how much of extra income people are likely to spend rather than save, owing to the higher disposal of income. Higher consumer spending boosts demand in sectors like retail, electronics, automobiles, and other services. But how does government benefit if people pay less direct tax? Nothing but the indirect taxes like goods and services tax or the GST. I'll give you an example. If consumer spending rises by 1 lakh crore due to higher disposable income in people and the average GST rate cut is around 18%, the government can collect up to 18,000 crore in additional indirect tax revenue. This offsets the loss from income tax rate cuts and keeps government earnings stable. Apart from tax cut, the government has also allocated 11.21 lakh crore for the infrastructure development in roads, railways, and other urban projects. Why is this important? Now let's answer this. In macroeconomics, public investment in infrastructure has a multiplier effect, meaning for every rupee that government spends, it generates multiple rupees in economic activities. It creates jobs in construction, increases demand for materials like steel and cement, and improves logistics efficiency, making business more productive, which in turn will give more employment to people and again will lead to direct consumer spending. In the long run, better infrastructure attracts foreign investment, strengthens domestic industries, and contributes to the GDP growth overall. So now let's come to the final takeaway from these two news. What's the bigger picture? The RBI's rate cut is expected to boost credit growth and economic activity, while tax rebates increases consumer spending, indirectly compensating for lost income tax revenue through GST collections. Meanwhile, infrastructure investments will fuel long-term economic growth. However, the real challenge lies in the execution. Whether inflation stays under control, fiscal deficit remains manageable, and economic momentum continues. This is Karthik keeping you updated on India's economy. Stay informed, stay ahead. Jai Hind.